Whoever's narrating this book is doing a great job with the accents. Our main characters are Millie and Enzo Icardi, a new couple who've moved into a suburban neighborhood on Long Island, with their 2 children, Nico and Ada. Enzo, as his name suggests, is Italian. Upon meeting their neighbor...
Pause this video right now! Go and read The Housemaid is Watching by
Freida McFadden. And when you've read it, you can join us for the discussion.
Or you can join us anyway, because we're going to tell you all about it. My name's Elijah.
And I'm Joseph, and welcome to the Aisha Library.
Do you want to start again, or do you want to continue?
No. It's the point was basically finished anyways. We're just getting some background information about our characters.
So we haven't actually read the first 2 installments, but we might have to.
I think we're going to have to, because they will set the referees. They were saying this was the shit one.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually really enjoyed it. So
I think it was worth the read. Just as I was about to commend this book for the beginning, you got to love a story that starts slap bang in the middle of action. It immediately skips to 3 months earlier.
Cold open.
I have a feeling that Joseph's going to hate the time skip.
Wasn't a fan of the time skip. I'm never a fan of time skips. Having said that, I was barely paying attention to the beginning bit, because the reason why I hate time skips is because I don't feel like the beginning gave us enough time to even... We didn't know anything about anything.
Alright, well, not only have I not finished my point, but I think that the time skip saved the beginning of the book, because I genuinely felt like I would have put the book down if I didn't get that dangling of the murder. Because what was happening for half of the book?
Oh, yeah,
Nothing.
no, I know
There
what
was
you mean.
no plot for half of the book. We were just... Millie was just trying to impress this neighbour that she doesn't really give a fuck about, no one cares about, and whatnot. But anyway, let me finish the point. So I've been led to believe that the main character has committed murder. She's standing over the dead body with blood all over her hands. She's trying to figure out how to get away with her crimes when the doorbell rings, followed by a person entering the house. All of that whodunit foreplay. Oh, my tip is fizzing. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, 3 months earlier, cliffhanger, time skip. What a boner killer. So yes, I like the beginning. I like the beginning up until the time skip. But, is what it is.
So, is this a murder mystery? We know somebody is going to be murdered. We're just waiting for the penny to drop. My money is on Jonathan, Suzette's husband. I did call this for once, which didn't really make any sense. In retrospect, I kind of used the wrong formula and got the right answer. But although it could be Janice, the paranoid old lady that keeps her son Spencer on a leash. A boy vanished a few towns away 3 years ago, she says warningly, when warning Millie against letting her children walk home by themselves. They called in the police, the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, and a psychic. Even the psychic couldn't find him, is what she said, which kind of made me laugh, to be fair. I feel like that's why I kind of enjoyed this book, because there was some funny moments.
Oh, there were definitely some very funny moments.
The characters were very charming. I thought the characters were charming.
I liked Suzanne and I liked Janice. Was it Suzette?
Yeah, Suzette.
Yeah.
You can't stop. you can't be asked.
I liked Suzette and I liked Janice.
You couldn't answer that much.
And they were 3D characters. They had personalities. They had something about them. They done the characters well, just not the main characters very well. But maybe because the main characters were highlighted in other books. But Millie was 2D and Enzo was 1D. I think the accent was put on just to make him a little bit more.
No. You know what I think? I genuinely think Enzo is a generic Italian character. He was just Italy, but a person. Just, he's just as Italian as he could possibly be.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just does Italian stuff, says Italian stuff, has Italian accent, eats Italian food. Like,
only Italian.
Do you know what I mean? And he's like, I just feel like it was just,
stereotypical Italian.
Stereotypical Italian, that's literally what he was. So apparently this is a sequel. I was reading some reviews and this book picks up 13 years after The Housemaid Secret. There is an unknown secret in the air about Millie's past, and I may just have to spoil it for myself. So the book ended up spoiling it anyways. Ended up kind of telling us basically what happened, yada yada, she went to prison for murder, etc, etc. But at this point I was literally...
What was the last book 13 years ago? Or is it set 13 years ago?
I really don't know. It literally just says it's 13 years after The Housemaid Secret. So I suppose if that is the second one, then that's what it would be. If it's the first one, then that's what it would be. But apparently in the last book, Enzo was just some random gardener that she just met. And just third book, they got children. Which would be really weird for me.
So it is set 13 years before.
Yeah, so I think that's probably why some people didn't like it. Because if Enzo was some random gardener in the last one that you didn't think was going to be important, and then next book, they got 2 children already, and it's like married, moved, you would be like, this is not kind of where I thought this was going to go. Do you know what I mean? So I could see how that might turn some people off.
I don't know. I can't comment. I haven't read the book.
You
I don't know nothing about it. We're just speculating.
Less than nothing.
Speculating. Suzette, who is the neighbour of the main character, Millie, is a passive-aggressive asshole. Or maybe she's autistic because she's clearly tone deaf. After insulting Millie multiple times by not only calling her house cute, but then she came right out and said, "It's finally sold. This property has been on the market for so long because it's so tiny."
Oh, bad.
She then committed a heinous crime, something that isn't actually illegal, but should be punishable by death. In casual conversation, she said congratulations to a woman who wasn't pregnant.
Yeah, nah, you can't do that.
With confidence!
Chest.
She said congratulations to Millie in front of her husband Enzo, whose eyes immediately started to light up.
Oh my days, that was worse either as well.
It was a very cleverly written scene that was just super awkward. But I like the story and the writing so far. It's so light and pleasant. This is what I would call easy reading. And in the first 2 chapters, there doesn't seem to be any obvious indoctrination. The author seems to have purposely missed out the stereotypical hot and perfect in-shape female main character. After Millie is essentially called fat, she says to herself, "In my 20s I was in shape, but now I'm loving my womanly curves, and my husband seems to love them too." In some ways, it's kind of a check for the body positivity. Now let's see if we get a check for the LGBT community. But yeah, I like Tuzette. She essentially made the book, but that's kind of the problem, a lack of plot. So for the first 30, 40 chapters, honestly, you know...
How many were there? There was like 80 as well, wasn't it? So that's like half the book then.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, Suzette was, you know, carrying the narrative. She
definitely was giving us something to be entertained by.
Yeah,
giving us a reason to keep reading. But I think what's interesting, you missed something out there from that scene where she's, you know, talking about her womanly curves or whatever, and her husband loves them. She literally said, having said that, this t-shirt's going in the bin or whatever. And I thought that was very, very, very realistic, because at the end of the day, all the body positivity you want, no one likes to be called fat.
Not only that, there was a genuine lack of accountability, which is quite realistic.
That's quite realistic as well.
It's a t-shirt, it's not me.
Yeah, you need to go to the bin. Stop shoving cakes in your mouth. But it was definitely fun, and I think that's probably why Enzo's eyes lit up, because he could never fathom that another woman would get such a thing wrong. Do you know what I mean? In terms of to say, congratulations. Yeah. Like, he's thinking she must have just picked up on something I didn't. Suzette is taking the absolute piss. Millie and Enzo are invited to dinner with Suzette and Jonathan, their neighbours, and Suzette openly flirts with Enzo the entire time in front of her husband, his wife, and their 2 children. Maybe I'm too confrontational, but I'm a big believer of the play stupid games, win stupid prizes rule. I would have been like, "Excuse me, may I use your restaurant?" and blocked up that bitch's toilet. Nah, but come on, you're taking a piss. They pulled up to the house to have the dinner party, and they said there was place cards, and Suzette had placed her seat next to Enzo's, and then I was like, "That's taking it out." I'd have switched those ASAP. Like, you can't be doing that. Come on, man. And it got worse.
Way worse. It got worse. This book is definitely an anti-indoctrination. Millie says that she hates it when people say "be yourself." I don't have anything else to say about that. But talking point, our main character Millie clearly doesn't approve of the fact that one of the mothers has her child on a dog's leash. Well, it's a children's leash.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you have an issue with that? Do you think it's wrong? Would you put your child on a leash?
I wouldn't. But at the same time, it's very difficult to judge people who would, because children just run in the road. Do you know what I mean? They'll just run in the road.
So do you think there's anything wrong with putting the children on a leash?
I think there could be, after reading Angie's Generation, I think there could potentially be some negative adverse effects of keeping children on a leash. I think there could potentially be, but that's speculation based on the fact that I have now learned to question things.
So, alright, so do you think there's anything wrong?
No, I don't think there's anything wrong. I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with it. So what about... If the child's on the leash, they're probably for a good reason.
So what about a muzzle?
If they're biting, keep biting.
What about a collar with the address on it and their name?
No, if it was a bracelet, like, come on, collar is mad. Collar is mad. What, with the spikes?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with putting a leash on them. I know it's not called a leash.
Definitely,
but if they can't,
potentially
they don't, it's a lifesaver, isn't it? You're letting them run about, you know, sniff lampposts and whatnot. No, but you're giving them a little sense of freedom, and whatnot. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Yeah, go on then.
Something or someone is trapped in the house. At the ungodly hours of the night, Millie can hear scratching sounds, as if someone or something is trapped under the floorboards and trying to free itself. She's beginning to wonder if there is a more nefarious reason than dumb luck that they were able to get such a nice house in such a good area for 10% below asking. I always think there was a scene where she could hear the scratching or whatever, and then she was like, I'm going to go investigate, and I'm not going to wake up Enzo because he's got work in the morning. And I was like, that is the dumbest thing I've genuinely ever... Like, can you imagine? Like, if my girl hears a noise, like, I wouldn't want her to just, like, let me sleep and just go and investigate. Could be anything.
Exactly.
Genuinely could be anything. Bring a bat or something. She didn't bring nothing, you know. Literally, like, nothing. Literally. And in fact, here's a tip for you guys. If you have a bat in your house, put a sock on the end of it. Do you know why people put a sock on the end of it? Because if someone tries to grab the bat out of your hands, the sock will just come off. And now you've got a second chance to conk them.
No, yeah, but I don't want to soften the blow.
Huh? Nah, no. If you them thin socks ain't gonna soften nothing. If it's a wooden bat, that ain't softening nothing.
That's wooden. I'm going metal.
Even better.
Or even better, you stick a spike on the end. That's it.
Yeah.
But this is America. Just get a gun.
Yeah, 100%.
Wouldn't.
And he even said, Enzo had a gun, but like when his daughter was born, he got rid of it because he was like, that's one reason to you should buy another one. Like, what the fuck? You should have just bought another one. Then he was like, oh, let me give her a knife instead. Like, hey, come on, man. He definitely should have kept that gun. 100%.
Parenting was a bit off.
And then he ended up buying a gun anyways to give to that random woman. But yeah.
8 chapters in. Where is the plot? Because I can't find it. All that has happened in this book is Millie has been hellbent on trying to impress her rich neighbour Suzette, while simultaneously getting annoyed that said rich neighbour is flirting with her husband. I'm not exactly bored with what's happening. If not for the initial time skip, I would definitely be looking to put the book down. Is the husband's accent meant to mask the fact that he has no personality and that they have no chemistry? There are no private jokes between them, no pet names, no hobbies, 2D characters. Their marriage is so 2D that she hasn't even told her husband that she doesn't like Suzette. You know, no gossiping, for example. I don't like that bitch, she's stuck up and rude. None of that.
I think you're right, their marriage was 2D, but I don't necessarily think Enzo didn't have any personality. I think he had some personality, but it was...
Yeah, I know what you mean, but there was nothing that... If not for the accent...
His accent was like 60-70%.
If not for the accent, he was kind of pointless as well up until, you know, the end. I mean, like,
yeah.
He was used to carry the plot in terms of the flirting with Suzanne. But,
yeah.
You know,
Suzanne,
apart from that...
Yeah.
Don't get me started on Ada. Some pointless character that was just shoehorned in at the end for no reason.
I mean, she wasn't shoehorned in at the end, but her point of the story was shoehorned in at the end. Yeah, and it was even like they even had an extra voice to narrate, and I was like, wow, that came out of nowhere.
Why are we even living her life?
You should have killed her.
Anyway, we'll get to my point.
Why the hell is Enzo always over Suzette's house? It's been 6 or 7 chapters since the dinner party, and in that time, Enzo has been caught by his wife over at Suzette's house a grand total of 3 times. I feel like this has gone beyond writing now. No reasonable husband would or could possibly think it's a good idea to spend so much time in close quarters with another woman, especially not Suzette. Let's be real. If Suzette is comfortable throwing herself at Enzo with his wife 7 inches away, then imagine what she's doing when Millie isn't around. She's probably answering the front door wearing cling film. This "she's finding me work" gimmick has gone far enough. Surely Enzo himself can't still believe it. Because like it was just, she's finding me work, she's finding me work, she's finding me work. We didn't really see this guy doing any work. We heard about him doing work. And Millie was like, I saw him in Suzette's garden or whatever. But what other possible reason could he have for continually going around there? Except... to get some sucky.
Give some sucky.
Who does?
One thing I will say is that married couples get away with doing a lot more with other married couples in terms of... So we saw it in We Play Games when the husband and wife would, you know, use their marriage to befriend each other and so, married anyway, sort of thing. So we kind of saw that with Suzette and whatnot.
She was trying it anyway, but she was not subtle, so... She, like, wasn't subtle at all. Well, from Millie's perspective.
Yeah, from Millie's perspective.
To be fair, she may have, like, beefed it up because, you know, you're never going to be happy to see someone flirting with your significant other in front of your face. It may have been a lot more subtle than she probably made it out to be because, obviously, we're reading the story from her perspective. But...
So, I'm going to go. Millie, our main character, said, "The boy's parents were not about to let me get away with killing their son, even though he was a rapist. Millie got 10 years in prison for clobbering the guy who was trying to rape her friend. She came into the room in the nick of time. She tried to get him off, but he wouldn't budge. So then she clobbered him multiple times in his head, killing him. Does she think that she doesn't deserve to have gone to prison for that? Because of the way she's talking is if she should get off scot-free. I would like to add that we do not kill rapists, we put them in prison. So what do you think? If you was the judge, is Millie getting off? Yes. She's going down for that. She's getting off?
Yeah,
really?
She'd get off. I think her lawyer sucked, by the way. Your lawyer sucks. Like, he should go to prison instead of you. Her lawyer should actually go to prison instead of you.
But we don't kill rapists.
Okay, I know. But having said that, let's say if she walked into the room...
filmed it.
If she... Well done!
Put it
on PH. But no, but if she walked into the room and then she saw her the guy on top of her friend or whatever, and she whipped out a sawn-off shotgun and double tapped him, then that's one thing. But the fact that she clobbered him, she was just trying to get him off. So that's manslaughter at best.
Could have choked him. The two of them.
No, come on. Even when you was actually trying to get him off, he's like, "That's what I'm trying to do." But nah, come on, like. I know they make arguments about strength all the time. Like, this could have been a big guy, she could have been a little woman. You know, she's already subdued, so there's not two of us, there's one of us. Do you know what I mean? She's already been subdued. I personally think if you see your friend being attacked and you hit somebody and your instinct to hit them, obviously you're going to go for the most vulnerable target, which is the head. I don't necessarily think you should go down for that.
Who used to say he was raping her?
Well, that's now we're going into a whole different... Let's assume he was, because that's what the case is. But if he wasn't, we can't really talk about that, because that was never part of the story.
No, but this is the reason why she's got to go down. Because it's only her word against his that he was raping.
Oh, right, fair enough.
She took a life, she's got to go down for
that. No, I'm saying that, but obviously her lawyer's going to be like, so she just decided to murder some random guy for no reason.
Maybe do you know what I mean? Thought she was raping. There is no. It's manslaughter.
I mean, first of all, we've got the testimony from the victim who was raped. We've also got the testimony from the. Well, we've got two testimonies versus one, and we haven't even got one. We've got an eyewitness. She's an eyewitness. That is literally what an eyewitness is. You can't say you're not an eyewitness because nobody was there to witness you being a witness. That doesn't make any sense. We've got an eyewitness. We've got the woman who did it. You know. Maybe she's got bruises or whatever. Maybe, you know, he's got friends who was just like, he didn't respect women all that much,
etc. She didn't need to hit him on the head. She could have hit him in his back.
He didn't need to rape her either. So listen, look, we're all doing allegedly. But like I'm saying...
you're the judge, she's getting off.
She's got an eyewitness. What have they got?
I don't know. I think you got to get some time for that.
I don't think you would necessarily get time for that. You got an eyewitness. Like, what more do you want me to do? Like, that's like ironclad in the eyes of the law. The law is very, very limited. It's very, very limited. What would be ironclad for you? What? So she films him doing it, then beats him.
There's got to be ironclads. There's got to be some signs of bruising, cuts, fighting, scratches, sort of thing. Then I can say, but even so, I don't.
But even if what if it wasn't? What if she?
No, but even if it was, I think she's still got to get time.
Why?
Because she's taken a life.
So it was in self-defense.
But she can't be self-defense in somebody else.
Right, but he was in defense. He was in defense. Like, he was attacking somebody. He was attacking her friend.
It sounds like she attacked him.
Huh?
Like
to be fair, like I said, let's say it was true. Let's say he did rape her friend.
Yeah.
She hits it to get him off him, and then he accidentally dies. Because it's not murder.
If you clobber someone in their head multiple times, that's attempted to kill them.
Well... Did she double tap this guy while he was on the floor?
I don't know. If it's one hit, then it's different. But it seemed like...
Well, look, I don't necessarily think if it's 2 or 3 hits, that's not necessarily attempt... Like, you hit somebody twice in the head, like, that's not... I don't necessarily think that's attempted murder. If you... Like I said, if she double tapped this guy with a Glock... If she double tapped this guy with a Glock 20 whatever, then fair enough, you could be like, why did you even have... Like, you came strapped up with that.
Yeah, but alright, if it's a bat, I think it's still attempted murder. You hit someone...
What did she actually hit him with?
I don't know, I think it was a snow globe.
Come on, man. Murder. That's not
a murder weapon.
That's not a murder weapon. That ain't a murder weapon.
Alright, we spent too much time on it.
We have spent too much time on it, but if I'm the judge, I'd literally be like, listen, you're getting off scot-free, because at the end of the day...
If it was your son, would you still be happy with that?
Well, first of all, no. Obviously you wouldn't. Obviously you wouldn't. That's a ridiculous question.
No, you might... No, there are some righteous people out there that would say that.
Yeah, no, they're crazy, though. They're crazy. Like, what's his name? David Tennant's dad from Harry Potter. That sent... What's his name? That sent him to Azkaban.
Oh,
I remember, he was on job. But yeah, no, they're crazy. They're crazy. Come on, if it's your son, you're not going to be happy about it. You're not going to be happy about it. But not only that, you would never be presiding over a trial when your son was.
No, I know. No, I wasn't saying. No, I'm saying if you was the parent in the dock.
No, of course he wouldn't be happy about it. Of course he wouldn't be. I'm not.
You'd want her to serve some time as well. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, because it's taking your only son away. But if we're looking at the facts of the case, and there's a reason why there's such a thing as conflict of interest in court, because they know you can't be impartial when your loved ones are involved.
Well, you shouldn't be able to unless you're a psycho.
Do you know what I mean? You shouldn't be able to be impartial, which is the whole reason why they have conflict of interest in the first place. If you look at the facts of the case, like, she's got a witness. Why would the other girl be like...
I just got a problem with this statement. The boy's parents were not about to let me get away with killing their son, even though he was a rapist. That doesn't excuse you killing someone, unless that's the law. That's a different topic. I personally believe... I know what you mean. I know why you have an issue with the statement, but at the same time, she didn't have to kill him, and he didn't have to rape her. They both could have been alive, and she could have been out of prison. The crime did not fit the punishment.
Huh?
The crime did not fit the punishment.
Well, listen, when you do shit like that, shit happens, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like,
find out.
You fuck around, you find out. That's literally what happened. I
I
personally wouldn't devote my energy to trying to punish a person for removing one more rapist from the world. Like, she's made the world one less rapist. I don't feel that you deserve to be punished for that. There's one fewer rapist in the world. Like, you've done material good. Do you know what I mean? You can't argue with that.
I don't want to talk about this anymore because it's going to seem like I'm defending rapists.
It's too late for that. You've already been
But
caught.
it's like, if someone steals something, does that automatically make them a thief for life?
No, but that's a lot more. That's a lot less serious.
I know.
But that's what I'm saying. So the
if
same
I kill
rules
a
don't
thief,
apply.
can I say, "Oh, we've rid the world with one less thief"?
You can say that, but like I said, it's not the same weight as saying I've rid
definitely
the
not
world
the
of
same
one.
weight.
Like, a thief is not necessarily causing trauma for life. Like, a rapist is very, very
I
likely
understand
causing
that.
trauma for life.
But it's
So if
like
I steal
when you say
you beat me to death.
When you say things like we've rid the world with one more rapist or one less rapist, we are using...
What, you're reducing them down to that?
No, yes, and we're using specific language to beef up our argument. When a rapist is someone who's done something bad, are they... Well, I don't know. It's a topic for another time.
And I'm sure... Listen, look, there was a trial. Do you know what I mean? There was a trial. She went down. I feel like her lawyer sucked.
I think she got too much time. 10 years is
definitely. Look, like, if she gets any time at all, 10 years is like, come on.
I definitely think she should serve some time.
Well, how much time do you think is fair? Just to close with this,
2.
I think this is 2 years.
Yeah,
2 years.
2 years.
700 days.
Depending on what she's done. If she's if it's one blow, fair enough, scot free. But when we're doing repeated hits on the head,
yeah,
they're a dangerous person. You're a dangerous person, and you need to. I don't know. You that's manslaughter. You not only you're a dangerous person, but you have intended to seriously hurt this person.
I personally think you have been put in a position where you've been put in a position to cause harm to somebody because of a crime that was being committed. So, for example, if someone's robbing you at gunpoint in an alleyway, and they turn around because they heard something, you grab the gun and shoot them. Do you think you should go? And they die. Do you think you should go to prison for that?
Wait, you're getting robbed. You grab the gun.
So I'm robbing you in an alleyway. I'm like, yeah, run it, nigga. Give me your J's, give me everything. Yeah. You think I should go to prison for that?
Manslaughter.
Why?
Give up your shit.
What the hell? Why should I get robbed? That's illegal. That's illegal. I'm defending you might shoot me anyway. You literally might shoot. You got a gun. No. You might shoot me anyway. I could be fearing for my life here.
If you
got the barrel placed on my head.
Alright, but you've got cool. You've got the gun. Threaten him. Shoot him in his leg.
Nah, come on, man. I'm not police. I'm not police officer. I'm not trained for this.
Wasting. Bam.
No. I'm just. I'm not trained for it. Like, bro,
if you shoot him in his leg.
Listen, I work in McDonald's, bro.
If you shoot him in his leg and he bleeds out by some miracle, cool. But if you execute him, please don't let me go.
Nah,
wow.
Yeah, no.
You're going to prison, bro.
Nah, I don't think you should go to prison for that.
You can execute him and get off.
Listen, that's not execution. That's come on. That's not execution.
Down on your knees.
That's not execution. No. that yeah, you should go to prison if you do that. If you make this guy get on his knees first. If you make this guy get on his knees first, then that shows you're in control of your emotions. You're actually in control of the situation. If you see an opportunity and you've got 3 seconds to do something, you grab the gun and shoot him and he dies, I don't think you should go to prison for that. Or if he's got a bat or he's got something and you grab it and hit him with it, maybe even hit him twice or 3 times. Listen, you're not in control of that situation. You were fearing for your life.
Don't the police say when you hit a member of the public were battered, you hit them with, what was it, one strike?
But they're trained police officers.
No,
they're trained for these situations. They're supposed to be keeping their cool. They're supposed to be de-escalating situations.
But this is what
I'm a civilian.
this is why we have...
Do your job, and I wouldn't be defending myself, bro. You're police. You should eliminate crime.
This is why we have the child manslaughter, because you didn't mean to, but you did it.
I don't think manslaughter is for that. I don't necessarily think manslaughter is for
that.
I think manslaughter is for when you did something reckless, or you're doing something like, you're driving on the phone and you crash into somebody and they die.
You didn't mean to kill him.
Yeah, but you're doing something reckless. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're
someone in the head.
No. If you're defending yourself, that's not the same.
She wasn't.
No, right.
As I said, if the victim did it, it'd be different.
No, even if you're defending somebody else,
bloodthirsty.
Even if you're, I don't think that's bloodthirsty.
She come in and saw an opportunity, started clobbering, didn't like the guy anyway, started clobbering. But yeah, we have gone off topic.
Way off topic.
I mean,
I was
topic,
definitely right about that. I was definitely right about that.
I think most people would side with you.
100%.
But I don't know if lawyers...
public opinion.
I think most of the lawyers might side with
I
you.
think her lawyer sucked and didn't side.
No, it wasn't that. Remember, they said he had he's rich. And
Yeah, come on,
top
So he had literally better lawyers than her. He might have paid off her lawyer, in fact, to be honest. But I would have took that. Well, I think lawyers will side with whoever they're being paid to side with, and they can make a convincing argument either way.
That was a good debate, though.
It was a good debate, which I won.
I think I swayed you a little bit. I think I swayed you a little bit.
No, I think you started inventing stuff that wasn't part of the...
Me!
You literally said...
You brought up robbing people in the alleyway with a gun. That was you!
You
said, you can execute someone down on their knees.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
Brothers there...
this is on camera.
The brothers there...
You can't make me sound like I said stuff.
The brothers there begging, sweating, snotting.
No, that's not the same thing. That ain't the same thing. I said if you grab it and
rub him back.
Yeah, of course. That's what I do. Take them J's off, bro. What size are you?
To take off your pants.
Open his ass. So yeah, the kids go missing. Millie gets home from work to find Enzo's truck in the driveway, but the house is empty and there's no sign of Ada or Nico. They're not with Enzo either, who, surprise, surprise, is back over at Suzette's house working. It would really enhance the quality of the story if we could get some insight into what Enzo's actually doing or does. Let's mention that he's a landscaper, but I wouldn't say that your average Joe knows what a landscaper even does on a day-to-day basis. At the moment, it feels like he's the male lead in a porn movie, not that I watch such things, where he comes over to fix the pipes or clean the oven. It's repeatedly mentioned how good he is at his work, but we don't get any kind of insight to how good he actually is. So his job feels like a plot device to get him into Suzette's house to generate conflict with Millie, which is the whole plot of the story at this point.
Yeah.
After searching the house for the children, they find them in a secret room behind the wall, the door of which opens with a familiar scraping sound. The same scraping sound that Millie has been hearing. So this was the first time we actually get the plot advanced at all. Because
we didn't even get it.
Nothing came
much of it. Yeah, and I don't understand what was the purpose of the room in Millie's house? Was it just so that we can so that there's a reason for the room, the special room in the neighbour's house?
Because if it doesn't need that, though.
Well, no, but
there could have just been a...
Yeah, but then we would be like, well, that's random. Do you get what I'm saying?
It was random anyways. Yeah. But I personally think...
It's even more random for two of them to have...
Do you know what I thought it was? I thought it was like a tunnel between the two, and a guy was using it to sneak into their house to like grab the kid or whatever. That's what I thought it was.
Oh, that would have been...
Do you see what I'm saying? That kind of would have made sense as well, because that would have been him sneaking into the house. Because then who was even going in and out of the room when she was hearing the sound?
It was the son.
It was the son?
Yeah, it was the son.
Just going into the room to do what? Just to fuck about?
Just sitting there.
Yeah, he's a weirdo,
man. Well... but yes, still no plot. All that's happened is Susan doesn't like her neighbours and doesn't like the housemaid.
She invented like
Suzette doesn't like her neighbours and doesn't like the housemaid that she allows into her house twice a month. Her son's psychopathic tendencies is an interesting layer, especially as she has those tendencies too, as she committed manslaughter with no remorse. And also the husband, Enzo, has done some dark shit too.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for a son to have psychopathic tendencies if it's inheritable. I especially enjoyed the sunscreen scene. It was so good. I couldn't believe my ears. We don't even need a discussion about if that was appropriate, but Millie was just standing there like a third wheel as Suzette, who'd been flirting with Enzo the whole book, manoeuvred herself into a position where she was massaging sunscreen onto Enzo's body. Millie was just standing there watching, shocked. it was a hilarious scene, and that's what this book is, a collection of scenes.
It's a collection of just,
And some were good, and some were mediocre.
Not so good, yeah.
But yeah, that had me.
I was on the bus there, I heard it on the bus, and I paused at how that was ever.
No, but I think it's
dying tonight.
I think it's different when it's men versus women.
Oh, it's much different.
I think that could never happen.
Oh my goodness gracious!
It could never happen.
You wouldn't even.
But the man, that could happen. But most women would be like, "What are you doing?" Like, nah, I'll do it.
Yeah. She should have intercepted that a long time ago.
Yeah.
The fact that she just stood and watched it.
She couldn't. No, but she couldn't believe her right. She was like, "No, they're not gonna."
I don't need to believe my eyes.
What was very unrealistic is that there was no conversation about that after. There was no conversation between
that's ridiculous.
Like when they got.
Bearing in mind, he was there carrying her out. He was taking a piss. Nah, he's taking a piss.
That one was alright.
He wasn't alright. He's taking a piss. He's taking a piss.
You
let her die. You should let her die.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's women out there that would say that.
Yeah, of course. I think most of them would. I think most of them would say let her die. And you know me wanted to say let her die as well, but she was just like, I don't want to say it. But
I'm surprised you didn't give her mouth to mouth.
Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, ridiculous. Nico Icardi might be my goat. Millie gets a disturbing phone call from her children's school. The principal asks her to come right down immediately that it's about her son Nico and that he is fine, but there is a serious matter. Upon reaching the school, she finds that Nico has been in a fight and has a black eye. Apparently, their sweet little innocent son punched a guy in the face and broke his nose for picking on a girl. When asked why, Nico replies he had it coming. Millie is horrified and immediately grounds Nico, but Enzo is like, let him cook. While playing baseball, however, Nico loses his temper and punches the baseman in the gut. It feels like the author wants us to think that this is more than a child's development. Like Nico's outbursts of anger are supposed to be related to the plot in some way, shape or form, which we later found out it was. Either way, this kid is the GOAT! His hands rated E for everybody. I was like, Millie needs a little bit of this energy, you know, because if she had this energy, Suzette wouldn't be moving like she's moving.
Boy Nico's hands were licensed weapons.
Do you know what I mean? His hands working, you know.
But what do you think? Was you more on Enzo's parenting side? Or
I thought the first time, with the first incident, I was like, yeah, Enzo, let him cook, 100%. But then the second time, even Enzo was like, he said he just banged this guy for no reason. He said, I was defending you. He said, I can't defend that. And he even tried as well. He was like, boys fight. I said, that wasn't a fight.
Yeah, he just
that wasn't fighting, so that was not a fight. He just banged him.
Pause. But yeah. Yeah, so... But this is the thing. His psychopathic tendencies didn't come... Nothing come of it. Like,
yeah, because they wanted us to think...
Plot.
They wanted us to think it was psychopathic tendencies, but it wasn't. It was like a trauma response. So they wanted us to think it was psychopathic.
No, but he wasn't abused. The guy didn't even do anything to him.
I really felt like they fumbled with that.
No, they didn't want it. You know,
come on.
She didn't want to go full. She just
It's literature. It's this literature, man. You can
it's
go
the same thing
hard in the
as
paint.
we saw. Didn't we see the same thing with another book where they didn't want to go full because it was a child or something like that? Not sexual, but it was like
take the kid gloves off. Let's come on. Because listen, do you know what I mean? Like stop. Sugarcoat, like they just fumbled
they didn't want to go.
Listen, this guy got murdered. We need to feel like it was just.
Yeah,
this guy got murdered. Do you see what I'm saying? We need to say good. Because
I don't think it was just.
I don't
think. I will go into it. I don't think it's just. But what happened? But yeah, is it my go?
Yeah. Hold on, wait. How many points do you have left?
I've got 1, 2, 3.
Let me go again then, because I think I've got 5 maybe. Millie loves lying to herself. She loved it. Ever since she and Enzo met Suzette, her neighbour has repeatedly violated her marital boundaries, to the point where she's wondering if Enzo likes or is inviting the attention. Smiling to himself on the phone with Suzette, spending his days in Suzette's house without Suzette's husband around, withdrawing large sums of money from their shared account and claiming he needs it for supplies. In each of these circumstances, even when Enzo claimed he didn't remember what he was doing in Suzette's yard at 10 p.m, which is the worst lie I've genuinely ever heard. I said I don't remember. Millie tells herself, I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation. She said that so many times. I'm sure there's a reason. Right? I'm sure there's a reasonable. I'm sure he needs the money for supplies and just forgot to tell me. When the family joined Suzette and Jonathan on the beach for a client meeting, and the client mysteriously cancels, leaving nothing but Suzette and her bikini.
Yeah.
Millie says, well, I'm sure there really was a client. People do cancel. Even when Suzette literally starts rubbing sunscreen on Enzo's shoulders, Millie doesn't do anything. She just looks around for a teacher to tell. She was just there like,
I'm on my mum.
and do you know what I mean? Things get to a certain point where you deserve what you get. She should have G-checked Suzette long ago. This is why I said Nico is the GOAT. He figured out that his hands work from early, and he said, well, we could do something with this. She should have said to her long ago that, listen,
Don't. If she'd done that, not only would we not have had the sunscreen scene, which was one of the best scenes I've read from any book this year.
That is crazy.
But we wouldn't have had a plot because Suzanne was carrying the plot. The flirting was carrying it.
It was, to be fair, but it's a sign that you're being immersed in the book. If you're thinking, why didn't this character just do this? Do you know what I mean? It's a sign that you're actually enjoying the book. So I don't look at it as a criticism.
So 42 chapters in, and we finally have a plot. A whodunit. Susan's husband turns up dead, throat slit in Suzette's house. This book definitely triggers some emotions inside of me. The way Enzo tore into the house, washing blood off his hands and off his t-shirt, it had me thinking, for fuck's sake, what do you do if your spouse commits a murder and the police are coming now? Do you help them cover it up? Enzo says to Millie, don't tell the police about the blood on my shirt. I must add that he's doing a terrible job of trying to convince Millie that he didn't kill Jonathan.
Do you know what I mean? Like, don't tell the police that I had blood all over my shirt at the same time that...
Yeah, but I'll give it to the author. This is a masterful piece of writing. How the author has us convinced that Enzo is cheating, and in a moment changes our mind completely the other way. I was reading this book and my head was all over the place. So I don't think the whole book is a masterful piece, but there were certain chapters and certain things that it had me thinking.
They played psychological games.
Yeah, I was sure Enzo was cheating, and I was sure that he wasn't cheating.
I know, I would have been doing. But yeah, it got to a point where I was like, he couldn't be cheating, and then there were certain chapters where I was like, he must.
Yeah, he has to be cheating.
Come on now. Like, what else could it be?
Yeah, because I'm convinced Enzo committed the murder.
Yeah, I convinced myself
at first. So if he's murdered Jonathan, it can only be for one reason.
Exactly.
Insurance money,
Pum,
and
pum.
he's...
Do you know what I mean? Had to be.
Yeah,
had to be.
There was definitely a slice. You know,
he was getting broke off some.
Yeah, something.
He was getting broke off some. 100%.
I even thought for a second maybe trying to ditch Millie and like just move in with
that
Suzette and live their life.
That would have been a crazy plot line if he actually ended up doing that. Yes, a murder.
Millie turned up pregnant. No, Suzette turned up pregnant.
Yeah, literally. And baby got Italian accent. Baby doing this, you know. That's not what you want. Millie finally works up the courage to go to Suzette's and tell her where she can shove her SPF 200 sunscreen when the scent of blood hits her nose. It's then that she finds Jonathan's body, covered in blood with his throat slit. She runs back home to call the police and finds Enzo washing blood off his hands from a cut. So this is kind of what I was like. In the end, we found out obviously Enzo didn't do it, but he actually did cut his hands and he just bled bare. And I said, you are the unluckiest person I've genuinely ever read about or seen already. Even in fiction, this is far-fetched. You randomly just cut your hand.
At the
First
same
of all,
time.
you was the only one in the house, you didn't see the murderer, you didn't hear the murder, and you managed to cut yourself and bleed profusely all over your shirt at the same time this other guy was murdered in the pool of his own blood. That is genuinely... It might be God's plan for you to go to prison. God might have actually ordained. Do you know what I mean? God might have ordained
as well. I don't know why I didn't get rid of the knife.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know why I didn't get rid of the knife.
Wait.
You know that is the knife that his dad gave, that he gave to Ada.
Yeah.
It's a special keepsake knife or whatnot.
Yeah, he definitely should have got rid of it.
And it got found in the house with Jonathan's blood on it.
I don't think he knew that she did it though at that point. I think when he heard that the knife had Jonathan's blood in it, that's when he clocked Ada did it. And that's when he was like, oh, I thought I washed it off. Because he was just like, well, I've got to go down now.
Oh, I thought he I
don't think he ever took it back. He didn't take it back. He didn't even know she did anything. Like, she just kept it to herself.
I thought she did.
As soon as he heard...
So she washed it and put it back.
Yeah, as soon as he heard...
That makes sense.
As soon as he heard, the knife was involved, he was like, oh, she did it then. But then he was like, well, I can't say that. Because I don't know... Maybe I'm just have a very ridiculous view of justice, but at the end of the day, I don't think anything should happen to her either. But anyway, we'll get to that.
Let me make sure this is right, because I need my dad saying what he said.
Literally.
I think she should.
We will get onto it 100%. But, 10-10 plot twist. Even though I saw it coming, it was still a masterfully executed plot twist. The author sets us up to gradually lose faith in Enzo, chapter by chapter, to become suspicious of him to the point that we think maybe he is cheating with Suzette. Maybe he did murder Jonathan. If he was her lover, it would make total sense to get her husband out of the way and claim his life insurance policy. Instead, we find out that Enzo has ironclad excuses for his shifty behaviour, that Martha's husband has been abusing her, and that the money he took from the account was to buy a gun for her to protect herself. That the night he went out and came home smelling of perfume, he was meeting Martha. But this is what I mean. You are the unluckiest guy I've genuinely ever seen. There's so many... You did nothing wrong. And there's like 11 things that people could find that point to you did something wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's like... hold on, how many I've got left? I've got 2 left.
Alright, cool. Let me go, because I think I got 2 left as well. I put, Enzo is definitely covering up for the kid. I deduced that Suzette's husband did something to the girl, which is why she was crying in that cupboard, because Millie said it looked like Ada was already crying.
Yeah.
Or had been previously crying. So I reckon Jonathan did something to Ada, and then the psycho brother slit his throat in retaliation. But it turns out I was wrong. It was Ada who committed them. Yeah, it was literally the other way around. Yeah. I don't know why we had to sit through what felt like weeks of Ada's point of view. We didn't care about. Ada was a pointless character for 99% of the book. Now all of a sudden she's been upgraded to a murderer. I don't really like the ending of the book. The book could have been really special. It could have been a breath of fresh air. The fact that it has a happy ending is quite frustrating. Why couldn't Ada have been killed in self-defense because of the home invasion? And she had a weapon. It would have been perfect. They were on Long Island. Jonathan had the lawful right to shoot and then execute Ada for breaking and entering.
I don't know if he did. Does he?
Yeah, check it out.
Is it?
Yeah.
Even if they're like 11 or 10 or
I don't
9
know,
or
but
whatever.
if you break and enter, it is your lawful right to shoot and execute.
No,
execute, you know. In certain states, you can execute. Not all states, right?
Yeah, no,
so
of course
I
not.
watched Police.
I remember you talking about this part. Go on, again.
They
Say
said,
it again.
if you come down to the police station, we'll teach you how to shoot straight so that you put these burglars down for good. Because we like you when you kill the burglars.
Yeah.
Because you've got 100%...
Yeah, so basically someone broke into some woman's house, she shot him, he bled all over the kitchen counter, then escaped. And then the sheriff went on the thing with his hat or whatever, and he said, yeah, whoever shot him, we'd like you to come down to the police station. You're not in any trouble, we want to give you some shooting lessons so you can kill him next time. And it's just like, America's a different place, right? Yeah. But this is where the story's set.
Do you believe Ada did the right thing by stabbing Jonathan? I don't know if I'm sure she did. We don't stab people because somebody has verbally threatened you.
What do you mean?
So Jonathan verbally threatened Ada, and in a retaliation, she stabbed and killed him.
She actually didn't kill him, though.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't necessarily think...
Well, when you stab someone, that's attempted murder.
Yes and no. It's very difficult.
Yes
no,
she did not stab him in self-defense.
Huh?
She did not stab him in self-defense.
She definitely did stab him in self-defense.
He did not attack her.
Huh?
He didn't attack her.
No, but he did verbally threaten a child. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't matter if you could verbally threaten anybody.
Well, look, I think you're looking at citizens like they're supposed to be police officers or that they're supposed to be judge, jury, and execution. No, like they're supposed to be following the law down to the because you did this, then I must do this. Like this is not really how
we are supposed to follow the law. That's what it's for.
Huh?
We're supposed to follow the law.
Exactly. You're not supposed to threaten children. You're not supposed to abuse children. You're not supposed to keep the skeletons of children buried in your backyard.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to be a paedophile.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you do all these things, you've intentionally put your life in danger. Because you know, at some point, especially if you're a paedophile, someone's going to come after you. You've not seen them paedophile videos where they're hunting and they catch them in the supermarket, they start slapping them up or whatever. Who are you here to meet? Who are you here to meet? You ever seen those?
Yeah, of course I have.
If you do this, you're putting your life in danger intentionally. Nobody made you do it.
I'm not excusing any behaviour. All I'm saying
No, of course not. I know what you're saying.
Kill them.
I know what you're saying.
She should go to prison.
I know what you're saying. This is ridiculous.
For manslaughter.
It's ridiculous.
What do you mean it's ridiculous?
She didn't kill him.
Well...
She literally didn't even lead to his death.
No, just because she didn't give the final blow, he might have bled out and died anyway.
So she should go to prison for manslaughter for a manslaughter she didn't commit.
She played an active hand.
She didn't.
She did. She played an active hand. When you stab someone, just because you don't give the final blow, everybody goes to prison.
Say that again.
If you stab somebody and then I finish them off, we all go to prison for the murder.
Well, yeah, if we're standing around his body and then you go first and I go second, yeah. But they weren't even there together. Do you know what I mean? She stabbed him and then ran out. This is the exact same thing that you were talking about should be allowed in the first case, where she was like, yeah, she did it in self-defense. That's literally self-defense.
He was
going to murk her.
He could have been lying.
He wasn't lying. He wasn't.
I don't know if we're going to be able to do the next one.
Nah, he wasn't lying.
going.
We know the guy upstairs is gonna lock it off if we try and. Should we just try and finish this one quickly instead of your foolishness? Jesus Christ, he did fucking do it! Enzo and Millie have been worried that the police would find the bloodstained shirt when in reality they'd actually found something much worse. The murder weapon. Enzo's pocket knife with the remnants of Jonathan Lowell's blood left on it. There are no more shields to hide behind. Enzo is the only confirmed person at the house at the time of the murder. The murder weapon belongs to him. The blood in it belongs to the victim. As far as the police are concerned, the case is open and shut. Enzo confesses to plotting with Suzette to kill Jonathan for his life insurance money. It's funny because this whole time, I was like, if Enzo's lawyer was any good, he would just be like, where's the murder weapon? Straight away. That's the first question I would ask the police. If you think this guy did it, he's only one there, where's the murder weapon? A bloody knife is not the easiest thing in the world to hide. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's not, because...
Hiding in the car is difficult.
No, I'm saying, where's he going to hide it? He can stash it in the house. They would find it because they're looking in the house. He would stash it in the house. He would take it back to his house. He would take it back to his... He would take it back... But the thing is, they're gonna dig up the yard.
He's a landscaper, Joseph.
They're gonna dig up the yard. Listen, I don't know what. Neither one of us know what landscaping is.
Yeah, I know. True.
Like I said, he killed the guy, and they said he had like 30 seconds before these police pulled up because somebody had already called.
Yeah, of course.
So he ain't got time to bury nothing.
Yeah, but this was
because they catch him burying the night. They catch him burying something in the garden when the guy murked inside. They're gonna be like, so what was you dig it up?
No, of course, but he didn't get arrested the first day or the second day or the third day or the fourth day.
He didn't because they found a flipping knife in his house, which is where he decided to hide it. A bloody knife is not the easiest thing in the world to hide, especially if you've just committed a murder. Especially if you've got blood all over yourself, because you've got to take care of that first. You can't walk around the town with blood all over you the day somebody got murdered. But yeah, the first question I would ask if Enzo's lawyer is, where's the murder weapon? You haven't found a murder weapon. Like, you can't pin this on my man. Also, why would he choose to commit a murder at a time and place when he is the only possible culprit? That's the dumbest master plan I've genuinely ever heard of. Could not have been him just based on that.
Yeah, a lot of murders just happened though in the spur of the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is what happened anyway.
Yeah, it literally did happen anyway.
But yeah, let me see one last point. I really got much to say. What's the bullshit about with the housemaid? What was that all about?
I don't know why they decided to do it.
What was her name?
It was Martha, and they linked it to
pulling strings to ensure that Millie and her family buy the house.
Oh yeah, no, that was foolishness.
How the author wrote her into the story at the end. She's the one that slit Jonathan's throat.
Let her open up.
Why? Why did she? Oh yeah, because did she find out about the boy?
No, she literally was there robbing the house, and then she came downstairs, and he was just there.
So why did she slit his throat?
Because he was just like, I caught you stealing, I'm gonna tell.
So that's why she slit his throat?
Yeah.
So why didn't she slit her husband's fucking throat?
Do you know what I mean? He was the one abusing her. Jesus Christ. I was like, that's why you slit. And it's like the police can't tell the difference between a letter open and a knife. Like, one is extremely sharp, one is like pointy. Do you know what I mean?
I said the ending was done in such a way that I have to ask myself if Freida McFadden is trying to sabotage her own book.
I personally think
this was too good. I need to read it.
It was one twist too many. It was one twist too many. The thing with Martha was so unnecessary. All they had to do,
she was completely pointless for the story.
All they had to do was just make Jonathan die from the original stab
into
that Ada had
made or something.
Cool, they did. But what I thought was, first of all, Ada clearly had the Commando Pro perk installed. The fact that she shanked this guy up.
And that was terrible parenting. Why are you giving your daughter a knife?
I think it is crazy that Jonathan is like, you became a paedophile to bully children because you couldn't bully adults, and you can't even bully children properly. Like, he let this girl unsheath this knife like Crocodile Dundee, shank him in the stomach, and he was like, oh, where's that bitch? Looking around for her. I was like, you're a disgrace. You're a genuine disgrace. Yeah, Darth Ada. You picked the wrong one. Ada did it. That was
worth the read. Just about. I think the lack of plot was just quite annoying and frustrating.
I think it could have been frustrating if I wasn't enjoying them.
Yeah, the writing. I think she's a good writer.
Yeah,
she's a good writer. She's good with dialogue at least.
This story was beneath her, I think. Right, the story was beneath her with this story.
Maybe it was. Maybe do you know what? I think sometimes writers know that their book's sold already, so they just.
Oh, of course, Onyx Storm. Do you know what I mean?
I need to pay the bills or whatnot.
100%.
You know. So yeah. Do you want to end with quote of the day?
Yes. Life is like a sandwich. No matter which way you flip it, the bread comes first.
What the fuck does that mean? What does that
mean?
What do you mean? Money comes first?
Yeah, the bread comes first. You know, sandwich. Look at this guy.
I was thinking, what the? Money doesn't come first. I do.
What comes? All right, that was a better quote than my quote, to be honest. And on that bombshell.
Yeah. But yeah, till next time.
Till next time.